Alrighty. Welcome everybody to the Thursday Live. I'm so excited to be here with you today. As you are joining me, let me know you're joining me. Say hello so I can say hi to you. Let me know you can hear me and see me. Welcome to another Thursday training. Who's excited? This training that we're talking about today is really one of the most important pieces and one of the final pieces of having a successful revenue into your business. So when I say one of the final pieces, I mean in the beginning of the process of enrolling clients, right? You have your niche and you figure out who you're going to work with and who that's for and what that package looks like, what that messaging should be, who is that perfect person that you want to base your business around. And then we also have to put together marketing to get it in front of that right person. We have to have a way to get those leads in the door, the right people to us. And then the last piece of it is once they come to us, having that conversation with them, right? So that they see the value and they know that this is a solution that can solve their problem. And so that the ones that don't, it's clear and we don't make an offer to them, right? So this piece of the puzzle, learning how to sell your services is so important. And I hear all the time from coaches that they are afraid to sell, they don't want to sell, they don't want to be salesy, they just want to coach their clients, they don't want to have to sell. So I totally understand if that is you and you are in that boat right now. But hear me out on today's training because we're going to be talking about sales differently than a lot of what we've experienced in the past with sales, or just a lot of it does come from past trauma of someone trying to sell us something that we don't want. Okay, so we're going to talk about what it means to actually sell authentically as a coach and why that's so important for the client and how to do it well and to be confident, how to be confident in selling so that when you do have leads coming to you, you are excited to talk to them and you're excited to make them an offer and you're excited to make sales. Who wants to hear about that? Let me know in the comments if you would like to learn how to confidently enroll people into your high ticket programs so that when somebody schedules a consult with you, you're excited to talk to them. You're not nervous because, oh, now you have to do a sales call. It's actually exciting and it's actually fun. How many of you already feel that way about sales? That sales is exciting, sales is fun. We're going to be diving into all of that today. I think it's also really important to note, it should be obvious that I'm talking about phone sales, right? Actually having a conversation with someone over the phone. Because there is a section of coaches that are confused about this idea, right? They're confused about the idea of, do I have to get them on the phone? Why can't I just create a website and add my services on there and then just let people read all about it and then just check out if they want to, and then I'll just coach them when they're ready to be coached because they've already done the selling and all that stuff is done and I don't have to do that. How many of you wish you could have that? I've been there, so raise your hand if I'm not the only one that has kind of secretly wished I could just let the selling happen on my website and people will just buy that way and then not have to do the sales part where I have to make an offer and face possible rejection or just spend a lot of time with someone and then they don't become a client. I think we all have, it's a human emotion. It's kind of a self-preservation. It's coming from a place of self-preservation, right? So I want to talk about why it's so important that we're actually having a conversation with somebody before they ever buy anything from you. Super important. Don't buy into anybody who's trying to sell you that you don't have to do a call with somebody if you're looking to get clients, if you want to coach someone, whether one-on-one or in a small group or a mastermind, you need to be having a conversation with them on the phone. This is so important, you guys. A lot of coaches are, especially new coaches, especially coaches like myself who don't identify as an extrovert, right? Society would definitely categorize me as an introvert. So if you're reluctant about picking up the phone and having a conversation with someone and making an offer to someone, and you are not super outgoing, you're not a chatty Cathy, you're a little bit shy, a little bit introverted, I'm going to talk to you about this today, because most of our clients, and in fact, half of our successful clients are introverts. They're not the most flamboyant, they're not extroverted, they're not super social, and they're doing really, really well at enrolling clients over the phone. So stick with me. If you're introverted, you can do really, really well at reaching your clients where they're at over the phone, okay? But the short answer to why we can't just do this on our website, why do we have to get on calls with people before we work with them, is that the phone call itself, like picking up a phone and having a conversation over the phone, is a tool. It's a tool in your chest, your coaching arsenal. So if you're offering transformational coaching, it allows you to have this transformational conversation before the prospect is ever a client, before they actually become a client. That is day one of them coaching with you. But it only serves the client and it only serves you towards that goal if you know how to use this tool properly. And so I think a lot of times coaches get discouraged just because they don't know how to use the tool. They assume the tool's broken and throw out the tool, but nobody's ever taught you how to use it correctly. And this is one of the most powerful tools that you can use in your business if you understand how to do it correctly. Because it's literally the tool that will take you from having a prospect who is a cold lead, who doesn't know you, hasn't known you for more than 24 to 72 hours, and decides that they come through your marketing, they understand why they need you, now they're on a call with you, and you can enroll them into your $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 program right then and there. So it gives you the ability to start off your coaching relationship on the right foot, right then and there. How many of you have ever been on a webinar where, say, they're selling something on the webinar, and you thought, I wish I could just do that. Like, they don't have to talk to anybody. They just have this little checkout cart pop up on their webinar. I wish I could have something like that where people just are offered that after watching my training, and then let them decide. This is a question that I get asked by coaches. Can I just do that? I'd rather not have to talk to people. But here's the one issue that I have with that that's fundamentally going to cause problems in your business. If you are offering any type of transformational coaching where you're coaching with someone one-on-one or in a small group or a mastermind, and you have a checkout cart, whether that's at the end of a webinar or whether that's on a website, there's no way for you as the authority, as the expert who understands who you can help and who you can't, there's no way for you to vet that person who's about to give you their money. There's no way for you to check first, is this someone I can help? Is this someone who should be buying my coaching? Because anybody can click an add to cart button. How many of you are trying to attract clients that you can actually help? How many of you want to, if you envision the business that you want to have, see your business filled with clients that are the perfect fit for who you can help. You have zero shadow of a doubt that you can get that person results. Leave me a comment, yes or no, if you want to feel confident that every single person that you're working with, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you know you can get that person results. Yes, working with clients you can't help is no fun. Absolutely. So I'm saying all this, and the reason I'm spending time on this point is to understand that if you're not doing this, if you're having resistance to doing this, I want you to understand that this is in the best interest of your client for their transformational experience. It's also the best interest for you, for the health of your business, to make sure that every single person that joins your program is someone that you can help. And you're 100% confident that the reason they're here, the reason they're in your program is because you can help them. The last thing you want to do is get someone in your program and find out a few weeks down the road that they're not even the right fit for your program. And now you're dealing with all these clients who are trying to contact you and say, I didn't know this is what it was. I bought it thinking it was something else. And now you got a huge mess on your hands. And there's a lot of coaches that would say, go do that. Yeah, I mean, if they're willing to buy from you, take the credit card. But I would venture to say that anybody listening to this training who's in this circle is here to do things with integrity. You authentically want to help people from your heart. You're not just looking to enroll anybody with a pulse and a credit card. Super important. And it helps the client too, because knowing that this is a transformational offer, whatever the problem is that your client has, it's probably very personal. And it's probably a little bit scary for them to even think about betting on themselves again to fix it. That's where you come in as a coach. That's your opportunity as the coach to stand there in belief for them when they're afraid. They want that transformation so bad. They want that change in their life so bad. And all of their own fear gremlins are coming up, all of that self-doubt, all of the naysayers in their life who are telling them, you're never going to get there. You're never going to change. This isn't possible for you. You're too old. You're too this. You're too that. You're the person in their life that's there for them at one of the most important intervals of their life. Standing up for them, standing in belief for them. I just really want to drive this point home for you guys. This isn't about you at all. So often we have resistance to doing sales. We have resistance to getting on the phone with people, and it's coming from self-preservation. But you have to remember that that's self-focus. We're preserving ourselves. We're thinking about how we don't want to have to pick up the phone and talk to someone. We don't want to have to face potential rejection or judgment. It's about the client. This is all in service of your clients. You are here to help them. Can I get an amen? This has nothing to do with us. And we forget that when we decide to become coaches because we want to help people. And then when we get into it and we actually have to start selling the offer, we forget that and we go into self-focus and self-preservation. It's totally normal human reaction. Okay. So just understand that if you are dealing with that, I hope that so far, if I've gotten across any point at all to you, please, 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 you absolutely need to be doing a sales conversation over the phone, human to human connection. That's what the world is craving. That is what your clients need. Okay? However, maybe you've tried. Maybe you've done some sales calls and they haven't gone well. Or you've had a negative reaction where someone's fear came up and they lashed out at you because you were the closest person around. Who knows? Who knows what happened? But you had a negative reaction. Maybe you just got rejected and it hurt. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, this doesn't work. I must not be cut out for this. I'm going to go try and find the next thing out there to do. I just want you to understand that selling over the phone, it's just a tool. It's only as good as the person using the tool. So if you don't know, if maybe you've never been taught how to do it correctly in an authentic way, in a way that feels authentic to you, it can kill everything because you're not going to make sales and you're going to keep getting that feedback that this isn't working, and it's going to start eroding your confidence. It's going to erode your peace of mind. You're going to think, I need to go find something else. This strategy doesn't work. And then you're going to hit a wall. And a lot of times that's what coaches run into these days. Everything else in their business is working perfectly. They have an amazing offer. There's tons of people out there in the world with the problem that you solve looking for help right now. You have leads. You know where to find them now. And you get to this point and you've been given a script. And the script doesn't have a process. It's just a bunch of questions. It's super salesy. It's a lot of outdated sales tactics. You feel pushy. You feel sleazy, right? Those strategies are a big part of the reason why people fail. Those strategies are the reason why you're getting this feedback loop that, oh, this doesn't work. People won't buy. They're saying it's too expensive, yada, 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 yada. Right? And I understand it's a painful experience. You never want to do it again. So I think this is really important to talk about because that actual sales process is broken. But what happens is as coaches, we make the assumption that we're talking to the wrong people. We misdiagnose the problem. Or we make it about us and we say, oh, I suck at this. Right? And then our identity gets destroyed. And most of the time, you are a phenomenal coach. You can do this. It's not that you're not cut out for this. Right? So I really want to encourage you not to get caught up in shiny object syndrome because you're discouraged about sales. You can do this. If you have a calling in your heart to be a coach, then you can sell because selling is coaching when it's taught correctly. All right. So I want to give you guys, those of you taking notes, I want to give you just like some pointers. We could spend 4 hours and just do a whole deep dive training on the nuts and bolts of this process and selling. But I want to give you guys some quick takeaways, things that you can utilize on your sales. If you're actively getting on calls right now, I want to give you something tangible, something that you can kind of wrap your head around to take into your next sales call. So here's an issue that I see happening on your sales calls, right? It's an issue that comes up when you're explaining your offer, when you're pitching your client what it would look like to work with you. It happens in what you are selling. And this is really hard to understand in the beginning because it seems like the same thing, but I promise you it's not. So the issue that I'm talking about with coaches is that you're trying to sell what you do, and that is not what people want. You're trying to sell what you do, and that's not what people want. How many of you would like an example of what it looks like to sell what you do and not what people want? What would that look like? If you're a health coach, what would it look like to sell what you do? How many of you would like an example? Let me know in the comments. This is a big issue that happens with coaches because nobody's taught you how to actually sell what people want. So we're just trying to explain to the best of our ability what we do as coaches. And that's a huge reason why people aren't buying. So an example, for those of you asking, example of selling what you do. It looks like talking to the prospect on the phone and saying, you know what, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna help you put together a balanced nutrition plan that is sustainable for you so that you can make long-term changes to your diet. How many of you would say, well, that is kind of what I do. I do help with that. That's what as a health coach, that's what I help my clients do. Let me know in the comments if that is part of what you do. It's a great thing to do. Help your clients put together a balanced nutrition plan that's sustainable. But what's the problem with selling that? Right? That's something that you're going to do with them. That's something that you're going to do with them in your time together. That's not what you are selling. Right? Over the long term, that is something that is going to happen for that person, and it's going to be amazing. And that's definitely something that they need. But if that's what you are trying to sell, then you have an offer problem. And there's a huge reason why people aren't taking you up on your offers. Let me know in the comments if this is ringing a bell. If this is something that you've tried to do, explain to people what you do. And that's not what people want. There's a huge difference between what you give your clients in your program and what you sell them when they enroll into your program. And I don't mean selling them an apple, giving them an orange, right? You're selling them an apple, they get an apple, and you teach them how to find the orange. All right? So what you're giving them in the program is the solution. What you're selling them is a way to heal the pain of their problem. How many of you know that's not the same thing? I've talked about this analogy before when I've talked about sales, and I won't go into the whole story because it would be a long story and I want to be cognizant of your time today. But there is the analogy of those two islands, right? There's Hell Island, there's Dream Island. And instead of selling your client what they want, which is they want to live their life on Dream Island, you're selling them what you're going to do with them, walking them over the bridge to the island. That looks like what we talked about before in an example. It also looks like just telling them what kind of coach you are. Like, I'm an IIN coach, right? I'm certified in this method. Nobody cares about that. Nobody is going to buy that from you. So it begs the question, this is stacking on what we've already trained on before in the last 2 weeks here together. But begs the question, what is the problem that your client has? What is the outcome that they want? So when you're talking to them, you're explaining the reasons that they can't lose weight, right? You're explaining the reasons why they've been stuck on Hell Island, why they can't get off, why every single method of getting off the island hasn't worked. You're validating that the island is not a place to live. You get that. You're validating the pain of their frustration. And then you're like, hey, you want to know how my method works? Well, we're going to repair the broken whatever it is. Say it's their metabolism. We're going to repair your broken metabolism. That's it. They just want to know that you're going to fix the problem and get them to island number 2, which is where they want to live their life. They don't care all about the method. They don't want the bridge. I know this sounds simple, and it's when you hear someone explain it in an analogy, it makes sense. But then when we go to try to explain our coaching, the only thing we know how to do is explain how we coach. Nobody wants that. They don't even care about that. In fact, the longer you talk about that, if you pay attention to your calls, the longer you talk about that on the phone, the more and more and more your clients are tuning out. They're scrolling their Facebook. They're checking their Facebook now because you've been talking about how you're going to coach with them for like 15, 20 minutes. That's not what clients buy. Let me know in the comments if this is making sense. Put a yes in the comments if this is making sense. Put an I'm confused if you're confused, and we can jam on this. But I want to be cognizant of your time. I also want you to think about, here's point number 2 for those of you taking notes. I want you to ask yourself, am I selling something that they could easily search on Google? Am I selling something that they could just Google the answer to? Something that they've already tried before and failed at? A lot of times as coaches, we don't realize that we're selling something that our client is thinking to themselves, I could just go Google this information. Why do I need a coach? Oh, I've tried this before and it didn't work for me. I failed. So you need to think, is it possible that somebody is going to invest again if they think they're getting the same thing they tried and failed at? How are you explaining your offer to them so that they understand this is different than anything else they've tried before, and they see why your strategy, how you're going to help them, is going to solve the problem forever and why everything else failed? I've heard a lot of sales calls, so many sales calls from coaches. This is the number one reason where coaches get stumped and the clients choose not to buy. Because A, they think it's something that they could Google, or B, they think it's something that they've already done before, and they think that they failed at it, they don't want to try it again, or B, they think they can just go back and do it again on their own. They just need to have more willpower this time. Have you ever heard a client say that on the phone to you before? Thank you, this has been super enlightening. You've really helped me a lot. I think I just need to try it on my own and just have more, I just need to be more like dedicated, have more discipline, and really just need to have more willpower. Because you're selling them something that they've already tried before, and they don't understand what's new or novel about your strategy, about working with you, how that's totally going to help them get off Hell Island, how this bridge isn't going to crash on them again. So when I say that these phone calls are a really powerful tool, they're a powerful tool if you know how to do them correctly. And a lot of times, nobody has sat down with you and looked at your offer. Nobody sat down with you and looked at your process. How are you helping them have clarity on this? Are you selling the right thing? Are you selling the features and benefits of coaching with you, or are you selling the solution to their pain? Are you putting them out of their pain? So what is unique about this solution? Why is this different than anything they could Google on the internet or anything that they could try again on their own and just try to be more committed next time? We have to show them what's missing. We have to show them what's missing. If they don't have that aha moment with you, when you're coaching them, this is your first opportunity to coach them and to help them have a breakthrough. And if they're not having that level of clarity with you, and if you're not connecting for them why what they've tried in the past doesn't work, now they're not a failure from their past. Now they're not beating themselves up for failing. Now they know why it didn't work and it wasn't their fault because they didn't have X, Y, Z that you're going to help them with your solution. Now you've switched the part of their brain that is thinking, okay, maybe I can do this. This is something I've been struggling with for 20 years, but maybe I can do this. This is making a lot of sense. I understand why I've failed before. Here I was beating myself up thinking I'm broken and I can never get this. But this is making a lot of sense. You're showing them the novelty of this solution. What does that do? One, it means they can't figure it out on their own. They can't just go Google it without your help. And two, it's not something that they've tried before, that they think maybe worked. They just need to try harder next time. If you can solve for these two things on your sales calls, your clients will enroll. You're killing the problem that they're in, and you're showing them why this is new, why this for sure will work, why everything else hasn't worked, why this is the solution to their problem. If you can give them that clarity and you can offer them a solution to their problem without selling them features and benefits, your clients will enroll. If you can make it clear how to solve the problem, most people, when they see a clear solution to the problem, they will make a decision to do something about it. You don't need to persuade them into it. You don't need to talk them into it. You don't need to convince them. You just need to have a conversation that creates clarity for them around the problem that they're in and where they want to go. So Hell Island and Dream Island. Go back and watch that lesson if you haven't seen that analogy before. And you need to show them why this solution is different than anything else they've tried. What's new and novel about it? Why is this totally going to help solve their problem forever? And they're never going to go find this on Google. They haven't tried it before. And all of the things that they tried before weren't this. And it makes perfect sense why those things don't work. You have to help them work through this in their mind. You give someone that level of clarity and breakthrough, which is what coaching is. That's why you're here to be a coach, is to give someone a breakthrough. You give someone that level of clarity and empowerment, they will make a decision to do something about it. And the other important thing that's happening the whole time you're having this level of clarity with somebody, you're having a breakthrough with them, is that you can also make a decision. You're getting to know them. Is this someone I can help? Is this someone that I can work with in the first place? Let me know if this is helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments, for those of you taking notes. So often, people have been taught in sales that you have to make an offer to every single person you're talking to. Right? Every single person you talk to, they get sold an offer. Right? If you talk to 100 people, you make 100 offers. And you're not even giving that person a choice. It's like, the answer better be yes, because this is what you need to do. Right? The beauty of having these conversations with your clients is that you get to make a decision because you have a moral obligation to your client to decide, is this someone I can help? Do I understand the problem? Do I understand why all these things didn't work? And is my solution the new and novel thing that is 100% going to solve their problem forever? And if it's not, don't make them an offer. And if it is, now you're being the leader and the expert, and now you have moral authority. You know you're doing the right thing for the client by making them an offer in the first place. That's how we do it. That's how we teach our clients to do it at OCI. That's how we do it with every single client that we talk to. Because when we're on the phone with them, we're deciding if there's someone that we can help. Are we sure we can get them the result that they want? And we won't even make an offer to about 30% of the people that we talk to. Because if they're on a call and we feel like they're not ready, we feel like they're not a fit, we're not going to offer them a spot in the program. And that's the best thing that you can do for your energy as a coach, to know, I had a consult with someone today and I didn't make them an offer because I didn't think they were someone I could help. And your clients will thank you for that. They will thank you for being honest. It's a breath of fresh air. Can you link the video you're referring to? Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. It's in this group already. So I'll leave a link to it. I'll pull it up and leave a link to it if you guys aren't able to find that training. If you adopt these principles into your sales, you will make a lot more money. You will sign a lot more clients. You'll have happy clients. You'll have people who don't become clients who thank you because you did the right thing. You're going to spend less money on advertising. You're going to have higher profits. You're going to have happier clients. You're going to have the people in your program that you know you can help. I really hope you guys are understanding at least anything about, number one, you have to be having the conversation on the phone. Number two, when you have a sales process that works, where you're not following any outdated sales tactics or things that don't feel authentic, and you actually put the client first, it changes the whole entire conversation. It changes the whole process. And it's really opening the door for you to be a better coach. And then through that process, the client is able to understand, this is someone who can actually help me. This is someone who will actually challenge me to solve this problem. All right, so bottom line, if you're not having conversations with your clients over the phone, you need to start doing that. You're probably undercharging for what you're worth. You're probably not conveying your offer effectively, especially if you're not doing it on the phone. And there's clients out there who need your help right now that are falling through the cracks, that are missing the help that they could be getting from you by not doing this process correctly, by not using the tool correctly of having a phone call with your clients. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, you know what, like, I am in the boat where I have some calls, or I have some people who are interested in coaching with me, but I'm afraid to get on these calls because I don't know how to do this correctly, or how I was taught to do it in the past felt really icky and I'm just not comfortable going there again, I want to invite you to talk to our team. If you haven't yet scheduled time to talk to our team, what are you doing? We are here to help you. So whether it's with your niche, with your messaging or your packaging of your program, or whether it's your marketing systems and getting leads, or if it's this piece of like actually having an enrollment conversation with them, whatever it is that you're needing help with, talk to somebody who's already made $1 million in their business, someone who's already taken hundreds of people through the process of creating a niche to enrolling clients. We want to help you. All right, so go into the comments if you want to talk to somebody from our team who can help you with this, whatever area you're struggling with, or maybe it's all of the areas. Go into the comments and type talk so they know you want someone to chat with you. Go into the comments and type talk and somebody will have a conversation with you and talk to you about which specific area of your business do you need the most help. Maybe you need the full plan. Maybe you need the full blueprint, and that's okay too. We are more than happy to help you. We want to talk to people who maybe they need someone in their life to believe in them. Maybe everyone in your life is a naysayer and thinks that it's not possible to grow a business online. Maybe it's, a spouse or partner. Maybe it's your parents or your family and friends who love you, but they're a little bit negative about business and they've never grown a successful business before. Why on earth would you take business advice from naysayers who've never grown a successful business? Talk to people who have already grown over $1 million in their business. We have seen everything. We've seen every question come through the gate. Every problem, every obstacle or roadblock you could possibly be facing, we've seen it before. So we want to talk to you and help you get clarity on this. So go into the comments and type talk so one of our team of experts can reach out to you and have a chat with you, hear more about your business, and then give you some laser focus. We want you to have an aha. We want you to have a breakthrough. There's one of the most powerful things you could ever experience in your business. So go into the comments and type talk if you want to chat with someone. We are more than happy to help you out. Book a call, talk to someone from our team, and we'll get you rocking and rolling right away. Alrighty, my friends, let me know in the comments if this was valuable for you, if this helped you think about sales differently and encouraged you to think about it in terms of what's best for the client. And if you're excited to actually start taking some sales calls and do it in a way that feels good. All right, my friends, thanks for joining me today, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.